Okay, what's up, everyone? So, I'm gonna show you a little.
Look, it feels great. It feels familiar. I saw it so clearly. I swear to God, I saw it so clearly, so consistently, until it's here in reality. So, I've been saying this a long time. I'm very confident in my abilities and what I'm predicting I'm gonna do, and I back it up. I back it up with work ethic. I back it up with hours upon hours of time and dedication. I never slip. I never take a second off this game. So I'm very, very satisfied, very grateful, very happy, but not surprised. You know what I mean? I knew it. I knew it was going to happen for me.
You know, they'll have to say now, I'm just, you know the way they say, I just got a left hand. They'll have to say, I've just got a left shoulder as well. A left hand and a left shoulder. The so-called experts of the game, when they'd be breaking down my skill set, they'd be saying, I'm just a fighter with a left hand, which is highly uneducated. And I'd be surprised that so many of the supposedly knowledgeable people, they'd be just claiming it as that. So it's a good shot in the clinch. I see it, you can really catch a man. So I knew I caught him with the first one off guard, and then I caught one or two more, and when we separated, the nose and the eye was bust. And it's a good shot. I've utilised that many times.
Is there any update on the island?
You know what's hilarious about you asking me that question right now? Literally this morning, when I was driving to work, I was talking to Ari, and Ari goes, how many people a day ask you where Fight Island is? Because I guess people are blowing him up, asking him where Fight Island is. And yeah, no, people are very intrigued by Fight Island, and I'm excited for it. Right now, we're looking at June, and we're literally gonna knock out 3 or 4 fights there in a month. And I'm gonna stay on the island for a month. I'm gonna go stay there. I'll probably be there the whole month of July.
That fight.
Listen, I agree with you. I think it's an amazing matchup. Gaethje, he doesn't utilize his wrestling offensively. He definitely utilizes it defensively. Apparently, that's what he was known for also in college. His defensive wrestling ability, his ability to sprawl. That's what you need against someone like Khabib. You need to keep that fight on the feet. If I had to pick right now, I would probably be leaning towards Khabib until I can see someone actually stop Khabib from taking him down and utilizing that ground and pound. How can you go against a guy who's been undefeated for this long? But I do think that if there's one guy who could pull it off and get a knockout, it's Gaethje. I really do.
What was going in your mind in that point? I mean, were you having trouble figuring out how to get past the jab, or were you just veteraning that round out and kind of waiting for him to maybe gas himself out a bit?
Yeah, the distance a little off and on.
Happy Saturday, happy Memorial Day weekend. It's raining here in Jersey. This is some good stay-at-home boo-loving weather. Not me. Going to the gym. Secret location. We about to get these sparring rounds in. I'm about to spar. 10 days removed from UFC Jacksonville, my victory, and I'm back in the gym throwing the hands. We ready to go. Why? Because I'm hungry. I'm ready to eat again. I said what I said. I want frequency. I'm ready to go again. So which one of y'all blockheads at bantamweight want these hands? Let's go. Who I got? Dana, Mick Maynard. I got a few for you. Go down the list. I give you 2 names to start with. Nico Montano. We supposed to fight at the season finale of Tough 26 anyway. Let's see who the baddest was in that house. Let's figure it out right now, because we was the 2 true finalists. And then let's see who else we got. I think Lena Landsberg. Boom, that's another good matchup. I make for exciting fights, baby. You know it. I ain't never been in a boring fight. Any one of these blockheads can get it. Instagram gonna cut me off. I thought I could hold the thing as long as I wanted to go on my rant. Anyways, which one of y'all bantamweights ready to go? Fight Island, Vegas. We can go back to Florida. Wherever you want. I'm ready to go, baby. No rest. Back in the gym. Back ready to spar. Weight still good. Holla at me.
It messed me up, man, because you know I literally kind of went into a different place to get that mentality. So, you know, Ryan Spann was fighting too, so I had to go back in the room and just get him ready. You know, no one knew, so I just acted like I was fine and just kind of keep his mentality up. And, you know, he's making jokes like, hey, man, who's going to finish our opponents first and stuff. And I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
And I had to just get him ready. And later on, it just slowly started to leak out. And, you know, I didn't even tell my coach, Clayton, you know, and I didn't know how to tell him. I knew it would have crushed him. So, and of course, when I told him the first thing, he's like, man, every damn time we find these Brazilians, some shit has to happen. We're not fighting these Brazilians anymore. Like Anderson, he had a gallbladder surgery. Vitor, I collapsed, and now this guy. I'm like, man, every time I'm supposed to get a big shot.
Yeah, at a big name Brazilian fighter. Yeah, it's like an omen.
Yeah, I mean, at the weigh-ins, he was wearing gloves. You know, we got there, and he was wearing gloves or whatever. And, you know, I'm saying pound because I know him previously, and I got no bad stuff to say about him. He's a great guy. So, you know, I'm like, hey, what's up, man? And he's like, hey, what's up? And we're throwing elbows, and he's like, oh, you know, be careful. Where's your mask? And I'm like, oh. I mean, I'm like, whatever, dude. It's mental. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
If God's like, fuck this guy, he's gonna get it, then I'm fucked. But I'm almost convinced back in November I had it because I was deathly ill, and a lot of other people said around that time, October to December to January, they all felt this crazy sickness, and I'm like, I really thought I was gonna die. I told my friend, hey, tell my mom I'm not gonna make it. So I'm like, I'm convinced I had that. I didn't have the antibodies yet, but I did the test twice, and they said I was fine. But I remember seeing after the weigh-ins, because I'm jumping around like that was too easy, and I just saw him keep sitting down. He was just sitting down, and my coach was like, man, he don't look so good. I'm like, really?
Oh.
You know, I didn't know what was happening. UFC didn't tell me anything, and apparently they didn't know. So I didn't know anything. I'm training. I've been in Dallas since November training, you know. So a couple of months prior to this, we don't know. They're saying we got to come in, I think it was Indian reservations or whatever.
Yeah.
So my older coach, Clayton, who's 65, you know, the UFC booked his flight or whatever, and it had to be like a transfer. So his wife's like, that shit ain't happening. He ain't staying in the airport that long. Yeah. So I'm like, well, I'll fly back and I'll drive with him to the Indian reservation. And my coach's like, no, you're going to be tired. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I'm fine. And then the safe got a jet.
Oh.
And he was like, hey, we'll pick him up in Vegas and then we'll head there. And all this was all orchestrated, and literally the next day he called me. He's like, hey man, the fight's off. I'm like, are you kidding me? So what did I do? I was like, all right, screw it. I'm gonna stay ready. I text Dana. I'm like, hey man, let me know if that Fight Island is ready. And he was like, yeah, I'll let you know. And I'm like, all right.
The first time I did something with the UFC was when you fought GSP in Montreal, and I was so nervous, man. It was like my first UFC fight. I was nervous as hell. I was sweating, and it was so damn loud in that place, as you probably remember. It was probably the loudest I've ever heard it. I had, you know, these cans on, and I'm trying to call the fight, and I couldn't hear a damn thing.
Kenny, do you realize that event in Canada at that time was the largest? Yes, 22,000 people at the time. Chanting "fuck you, Sarah" and all. Oh no, Jimmy.
You know, I just drove 16 hours straight in the first place I stopped because she just got a fight announced, and fights don't win themselves.
This how Michael J. White sound talking about me, and maybe we fucking move around. He like, talking about I got problems, bitch. Spit it out.
My man D-Rock putting the work in. A few more days till he kicks some ass. Oh, and a new shirt. Boom.
Florida, who is the guy?